Despite getting 3 captaincy blanks in a row, the green arrows keep on coming. What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. It is Harry aka FPL Tips here with another video. Today my usual weekly video of my Game Week 17 review and my Game Week 18 preview, including my transfers that I plan on making and captaincy pick. So let's start off with my Game Week 7 transfers and whether they paid off or not. So I sold Walker-Peters and Souček ahead of Game Week 17. Now I didn't expect Souček to get that late goal and maximum bonus points, and Walker-Peters with a home fixture against Liverpool, I did not expect a clean sheet. So the 2 players I sold amassed a total of 17 points. However, the 2 I brought in managed to outscore this duo by just 1 point. Holding came in with a clean sheet, 1 bonus point and an assist. A very lucky assist, but an assist nonetheless for Tierney's worldly goal. And Saka coming in with a clean sheet point and a goal in a 4-0 win for Arsenal. So the 2 players I sold did perform very well, although the players that I brought in actually outperformed them by 1 point. So what impact did those transfers have on my team? How did my team perform, and what did it have impact wise on my overall rank and my score? In goal, we start off with Martinez, who returned 3 points. He conceded twice to Manchester United but made over 6 saves, which gave him 2 save points. I didn't expect very much for him, particularly as I had Bruno Fernandes in my team, so 3 points is actually more than I expected from him, so perfectly happy with a 3 from Martinez in Game Week 17. In the defence, we had Holding, who came in with a 10-pointer, my highest scoring defender. Very happy with him here in a 4-0 win for Arsenal. Arsenal looked much better playing that game in the snow. I was very called off, anyone who follows me on Twitter, about whether there would be a suspension of that match or it would be postponed due to the weather, but they kept on, they held on for a 4-0 win, Holding with an assist and a bonus point, so very happy with that transfer in. Next up, a very disappointing 1 point from Andrew Robertson. A 1-0 defeat for Liverpool, conceding very early on and Robertson getting a yellow card. I'm not happy with how he's performing at the moment. I plan on keeping him for the double game week coming up in Game Week 19, but he is one that I could easily transfer out to free up funds for other players in my team. And finally in my defence, we have the gem that is Mitchell. 6 points from my 3.9 defender. I started him this week over playing Chilwell, who had Manchester City, and this turned out well with Chilwell just having 1 point this game week. Mitchell with a clean sheet in what is the best fixture of this season for a defensive asset at home to Sheffield United. Cannot be happier that Mitchell has got his place back in that Crystal Palace team. He was looking like a transfer out for me, but at the moment he seems like a player I can rotate into my starting lineup, as he definitely helps their defensive performances. So Robertson, my most expensive asset, being outscored by my cheapest player in my whole squad of Mitchell, but happy with how my defence performed overall this game week. Into midfield, again, my other Arsenal signing, Saka, coming in and being a star for just 5.2 million, me buying him for. He's a great asset and he plays most games on that right wing for Arsenal, so he's got a lot of potential in the upcoming game weeks, especially if Arsenal keep up the form that they are showing at the moment. Captain Salah, now this was the big disappointment of the game week. What could have been in this game week if Salah had got more points than he did from just this 2 double to 4. Not much that I can really say. I plan on keeping him, but it was very disappointing in a subpar Liverpool performance. Next up, De Bruyne, who's finally finding his goals, his first goal from open play, as well as an assist. It could have been much more for De Bruyne, but I cannot complain at 13 points from the Belgian. Very happy with him, and with a single game week followed by a double game week for him, I'm very happy that he's in my team at the moment. Next up, Son. Now this was a captaincy shout with me that I decided not to go with. I could have gone with practically anyone in my field apart from Salah, but 13 points from Son at home to Leeds. Very happy with this return from him, although actually with his ownership it slightly hindered my rank that he got quite so many points, but still happy that I own him. And finally, Mr. Consistent, that is Bruno Fernandes. It's getting to the point where I may as well just put the captaincy armband on him and leave it there for the rest of the season. He's so consistent, penalties but also assists and goals from open play. What more can be said about Bruno Fernandes? Onto the forward line now, a blank from both Patrick Bamford and Calvert-Lewin. Now, Bamford's been returning me a lot of points, so I'm not particularly annoyed about that. It was away at Tottenham. I expected Leeds to get some goals, but the amount of ownership in Bamford and other Leeds players, I wasn't annoyed by this blank at all. But Calvert-Lewin at home to West Ham is a slight bugbear for me. There were no chances really created for him or for the Everton team overall. Not happy with him in recent weeks. Definitely one that I'll be looking to transfer out. On the bench, I made all the right decisions apart from what can be said as just pot luck with Forster getting a start with McCarthy being ill in game week 17. Forster coming in and keeping a clean sheet against my captain Salah. I mean, that's just bad luck, but apart from him, who I was never going to start anyway, the right choice was made on the bench. So how did this impact my team overall? So I got 72 points, a really good score, giving me a game week rank of 1.2 million. It moves my overall score up to 1090. Such a happy man with this score at the moment. It just keeps ticking along, and it gave me a green arrow of 5,000 from 20,000 up to 15,000. I was really hopeful going into that Liverpool game of a return from either Salah or Robertson could have pushed me up into that top 10,000 mark that we all aim for, but it didn't happen. There's plenty of time to go in the season, so fingers crossed I can get there in the coming game weeks. Either game week 18 in the blank game week or that double game week, which I'll look to target in game week 19. So now onto my potential transfers ahead of game week 18. So I'm currently not planning on using my free hit in game week 18 like many of you probably are. I'm planning on using either 1 or 2 transfers, which would be a -4, to get my team ready and saving my free hit for later in the season. The first player that I'm looking to transfer out is Balbuena of West Ham. Now, he has been playing most of the season, but in the past 2 game weeks he's lost his place to Dawson, and they have kept 2 clean sheets since he's lost his place, so it's unlikely he gets back in the team. I wanted him for the double game week with 2 home fixtures against West Brom and Burnley, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, so he's going to have to be transferred out. The other one is Calvert-Lewin. Now, without a goal in quite a few games, Everton are not creating nearly as many chances as they did in the season. It might be finally time to get rid of Calvert-Lewin from my team. He's been there since game week 1. He's been a constant performer, but it kind of feels like it's time to move him on. In terms of their replacements, we have Cancelo of Manchester City. Now, Manchester City looks so good defensively, and Cancelo, when he plays at right back, is so attacking. He almost plays at right mid during those games. He creates chances. He could have had an assist again against Chelsea and a clean sheet. There's so much potential from him, and he does seem to be starting most games, so I'm very excited at the thought of having Cancelo in my team. The other one is Ollie Watkins. Now, looking at the stats behind him, the amount of shots he's actually taking, both generally but also inside of the box and the shots that are on target, he stands out in the most recent weeks. He has a fixture in game week 18, which is why I like him. He also has a double game week in game week 19, as well as a strong run of fixtures after this. This could be a great time for me to buy back into Aston Villa in Ollie Watkins after selling Grealish a few weeks ago. So to summarise my potential transfers, that would be Balbuena and Calvert-Lewin out to Cancelo and Watkins. With just 1 free transfer in the bank, that would be a -4 using 2 transfers, but it would mean that I get to put out an extra player in game week 18. So instead of playing 9 players, I would play 10, as both players I'm bringing in have a fixture compared to just 1 in Calvert-Lewin in game week 18. So with all those potential transfers, let's have a look at how my team could line up for game week 18 if I plan on making those transfers, and what my team and captaincy shout will be most importantly. Just before we get into the final section of this video is sponsored by Fantasy Football Hub. They have great stats, articles, comparison tools, fixture tickers and so much more. From just £2 a month you can improve your FPL game. There is a link in the description which will give you 15% off. If you are interested, go and check it out. Available online and in the App Store. Enjoy. Now let's get back to the video. So finally onto what my team will look like, and just before we get there, a reminder that game week 18 is a blank game week. There are only 6 fixtures that take place. If you haven't watched my game week 18 free hit video, make sure to go and do so after this. These are the 6 fixtures that take place. Any team not shown here have a blank game week, so make sure to take that into consideration when picking your teams ahead of game week 18. But onto my game week 18 team preview. If I make the transfers that I currently plan on doing of Balbuena and Calvert-Lewin to Cancelo and Ollie Watkins, what will my team look like for Game Week 18? So in goal we will have Martinez with Tottenham at home. Now he's my set and forget goalkeeper. He plays every single game week for me. Happy with him. Unlikely to get a clean sheet in this game week, but hopefully some save points from him there. Saving goals from Kane and potentially Son in this match. Into my defence, I currently plan on having 3 defenders available for this week. Mitchell, having gained his place back, is very helpful. Even if it's just a 1 or 2 pointer away at Arsenal, it's still another player to play in this game week. Rob Holding, who I brought in last week knowing that I would want him this week at home to Crystal Palace. Fingers crossed for something from him there. And finally the new signing Cancelo at home to Brighton in Game Week 18. 2 good fixtures for my defenders plus Mitchell. Very happy with that, knowing that I'm not playing my free hit and I'm saving that for later in the season. Into the midfield we have Kevin De Bruyne with Brighton at home. Again, he stays in my team. He could get the captaincy armband, we'll get onto that in a little bit, but that is a great fixture for Manchester City. Salah in my team, he doesn't have a fixture. I don't have enough players, so I will be fielding 1 man short this game week. Saka, again, I brought him in ahead of Game Week 17 knowing that I'd want him for this Crystal Palace at home fixture. He started almost every game since Game Week 4 for Arsenal, so I don't see why he won't start again, and fingers crossed for some attacking returns from him. Son, I imagine he'll be very highly owned, especially with all those free hits being played along with his teammate Harry Kane. This fixture is actually more difficult to call than maybe it looks on paper. Aston Villa have been very strong defensively this season, but fingers crossed Son can bring me some returns and help boost my rank a little bit more. Finally, in my midfield, we have Bruno Fernandes away at Burnley. Now, if you're on your free hit or if you're not, everyone will own this man. He's likely to be my captain. We'll get onto exactly what I've done, but it's just such a good fixture. His away form is so good. There's not much more I can say about Bruno Fernandes. And finally, the 2 up top. New signing Ollie Watkins comes in at home to Tottenham. Having 3 players in this fixture is maybe not ideal, but Ollie Watkins, with the amounts of shots he's taken, if Aston Villa are going to score, he's quite likely to be involved. And pairing him up front is Brewster of Sheffield United. Now, Sheffield United have not scored many goals, but Brewster did have a chance in the most recent game week, and there's definitely potential for points with a fixture at home to Newcastle. Now, it's not high potential, but I don't have anyone else to play, so Brewster will be filling in for me in Game Week 18. That leaves on my bench Chilwell, Bamford and Robertson, all who do not have a fixture in Game Week 18. In terms of captaincy, I cannot look past Mr. Consistent in Bruno Fernandes for my captaincy armband this week. However, the vice captaincy is on De Bruyne at the moment. That form he's shown in the most recent game, and Man City, the way they seem to be improving on their game with such a nice fixture at home to Brighton, means he could be my captain, although the ownership of Bruno means that's the likely way that I will go in Game Week 18. So that is how I plan on lining up if I made the 2 transfers of Balbuena and Calvert-Lewin to Cancelo and Ollie Watkins. So that's all we got time for in this video. Good luck in Game Week 18. If you have enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button. Let's try and hit 50 likes on this video again, and subscribe to the channel. We are about 10 subscribers away from hitting 2,000, so it'd be much appreciated if we could hit that during this video being uploaded. But good luck in Game Week 18, guys. If you are playing your free hit or have any questions, drop it in the comments down below. Good luck, and I will see you all next time.